Interestingly, in many countries, not just in one particular place, in Algeria, in Albania, in Syria, in Kurdistan, in Egypt, you have Muslims converting to Christianity. In fact, they're converting to Christianity in such numbers that there's even a name for them. They're called MBBs. Pastors call them MBBs, meaning Muslim background believers. Believers, Christian believers who come from a Muslim background. How many converts? No one knows exactly for sure. But from the Muslim side, you have had complaints. There was a complaint by a guy on Al Jazeera who said that by his count, 6 million Muslims are converting to Christianity each year. Think about that. That's a huge number. Traditionally, Muslims have gained forces by conquering. So they don't really convert people to Islam really by persuasion either. They use force. But as I say, very few people convert out. But now that's happening. Now, one of the most why is it happening? Well, one reason it's happening is that Muslims are rebelling against radical Islam. One pastor in Egypt apparently said that the Islamists, the Muslim Brotherhood President Mohammed Morsi, was, quote, the great evangelist. Why? Because the extremism of his policies told a lot of Muslims, wow, this guy's crazy. I don't want to be part of any religion that he's part of. So that's part of the reason for the conversion. But the fact that it's happening in so many different places shows that that's not the only reason. Now, interestingly, when you talk to Christian pastors, and I'm referring here to a very interesting article that quotes a number of these pastors, they claim that the reason that Muslims convert, or at least a substantial number of them convert, is that they have dreams and visions of Jesus Christ. Now, this is a little bit far out, but apparently an Iranian convert, this guy's fairly typical, he said, quote, many people are having dreams and visions about a shining man dressed in white telling them about Jesus. The leader of a Presbyterian church in Pakistan said that there were some Afghan imams who traveled hundreds of miles to study the Bible. And when he was asked, well, why are they doing that? He goes, quote, dreams. Christ appeared to them in their sleep. And then a Colorado pastor who conducts classes in Arabic via the radio and the internet, he goes, virtually all my students came following dreams. There's a missionary named Michael Stallwork, and he is a missionary in Frankfurt. And he said a veiled woman came up to him. He thought it was a beggar. He was about to give her money, but she goes, are you the imam? And he said, well, I'm not an imam, but I am the pastor of this church. And she said, well, in that case, you are the right man. God has commanded me in a dream to go to the big church on the market square and ask for the imam, meaning the priest, to tell me the truth. So I think what I find fascinating about all this is that these people who are having dreams, now Christ is a prophet in Islam. He's called Isa. But interestingly, in these dreams, these Muslims are getting the clear idea that it's not Isa, that it's in fact the Christian Christ that they need to be following, and following through the mechanism of the Christian Bible and the Christian church. It's a little bit hard to know what to make about this, but I think it's thrilling for us as Christians to see that Muslims, who are the hardest people in the world to convert, Islam hasn't really lost the force of its original revelation. I don't entirely know what to make about these strange visitations and dreams, but they seem to be real enough to the people who have them to suggest at least the possibility that God is doing some remarkable work in the world through Muslims, pointing them to Christianity.